Hey, everybody, what's going on? Jeff Rieger, another episode of the Daily Ticket. And if you're watching on YouTube, I did it. I told you. I could not go another day with my hair looking as awful as it did. This is all on you people. I never had a problem with it. I never even thought about it. I looked at myself in the mirror all the time. Never once did I think I got to shave the old lettuce. And then I listened and watched comments roll in from you all. And by the way, don't get me wrong. I'm really glad that you comment and interact and rate and review. I really do appreciate it. Follow as well. But the one overwhelming belief from y'all was my hair looked like utter shit. So I needed to do something about it. So on Saturday night, I had enough. I had to work. I got home. I bought some clippers. I go to my daughter. She's 8 years old. Her name's Olive. You've seen her on this podcast before. I said, honey, it's time. It's go time. And she could not have been happier. She grabbed the razor and just went right at it. My wife took video of it. I don't think anybody's ready for that video, so maybe I'll hold on to that for a different day. It's rather sad having to say goodbye to your hair. But now that I look at it, I don't think it looks all that awful. Now, yes, I do have to tan my head, I feel. Other than that, the biggest thing I was worried about was I can't stop looking at it, I'm sorry, the size of my head and the shape of my head. I was very concerned, and you never know until you shave your head what kind of head you actually have. Is it equal on both sides? I kind of feel like it is. I don't think I look awful. My wife has not gotten used to it. In fact, I woke up this morning. I'm recording this on a Sunday morning, and I said, "Hey, Allison, how you doing?" And she could not stop looking at my head. It was rather disrespectful, if you ask me. And then she said, I missed a couple spots. And then she said that my scalp looked like a map of the world because there's certain parts that are darker than the other. And you could probably see here, I have missed some spots. But I want to know what you think. I did it. I shaved the head. Now I wonder about like upkeep. Am I supposed to do this like every day? Should I lather some shaving cream on in the shower and just take the Bic to it? I don't know how this works. Do I let it grow out a little bit? Maybe my trouble areas will grow out because they say the more you shave something, the more growth you get from that spot. Do you believe that? That would be sweet. Do I grow the beard out? I don't know. I kind of feel I could look like a badass. If I grow the beard out and I have the shaved head, for the first time in my life, somebody might be intimidated by me. For the first time in my life, somebody will look at me and say, like, wow, that guy's tough. Okay, they probably will not be intimidated and they probably will not think I'm tough. But still, in my own mind, I can feel that, right? So let me know. Hit me up in the comments. How bad does it look? How good does it look? Did I make the right decision? I'm just going to give you a 360. This is more for my purposes. So when I watch it back, I can see how pitiful the back of my head looks. But here you go. There you go. There you go. What do you guys think? I see people with shaved heads all the time. I think theirs looks a little better than mine. Maybe I waxed this area. I don't know how this works. Very weird. Anyway, let me know in the comments. But I am a man of my word. I know you were tuning in today to see if I shaved my head. I know you woke up this morning wondering if Jeff Rieger shaved his head. So I did it for you. Okay, I'm lying. I did it for myself. And I know you weren't wondering that. You're just going on with your day. So let's get to the day, shall we? We got some fun stuff to talk about. And when I say fun, I mean truly depressing and nauseating. On Saturday morning, or maybe it was even Friday night, Matt Chapman, a guy that I wanted to bring to Detroit, third baseman, signed a contract with Scott Harris's old team, the San Francisco Giants. Chapman signed 3 years, $54 million. There's two opt-out. So he gets $20 million this year. He can opt out if he wants to. He probably will. He's a Scott Boras client. Then he gets $18 million if he chooses not to opt out. He can opt out after that year. And if he sticks around through the two opt-outs and makes it to year 3, he'll get $16 million. So the contract goes down every year. And I don't even necessarily care about Matt Chapman. I care about Tigers fans because I woke up on Saturday morning. I saw that Chapman had signed the deal. I immediately thought to myself, which I think a lot of people that are like reasonable probably thought, like, wow, Tigers could have swung this. Tigers are 10 million bucks under the payroll they had last season. They're 50 million shy of having an average payroll in Major League Baseball. Matt Chapman could actually help your team. He could, even though a lot of people disagree. I'll get to that momentarily. The Tigers could have went out and signed a Matt Chapman. They don't have an everyday third baseman. Spare me the Gio Urshela talk. You got him for $1.5 million. He's got no power. He might not even play third base every day. You need a third baseman. And there was one on the market that had won the Gold Glove last year, is an elite defender, but did have a down year, only had 17 jacks, hurt his finger as well, and didn't have a great year at the plate. So I threw out on X because I feel passionate about this, that the Tigers could have swung this deal. You cannot dispute, like the player, hate the player, that he could have helped you. He could have helped you win a winnable division. And that's what this is all about. If you're in the AL East, nobody, including myself, is saying go out and be buyers, okay? Go out and make your team better. Because odds are you can't win the division. Baltimore's going to win it. The Yankees might have a resurgence. Toronto's going to be in the mix, right? Tampa Bay, of course, too. But you're in the AL Central. The AL Comedy Central. Anybody can win this division. There's no great teams in the division. And you haven't been to the playoffs for 10 years. 10 years. So when I see a guy like Matt Chapman on the market, I know he can help the Tigers. I know the Tigers still struggle offensively. They were 28th ranked offensively last year, and you're counting on a bunch of no-name young guy prospects. And I'm not being disrespectful here, but a bunch of guys without track records to carry you this season. Is Kerry Carpenter going to be able to hit again with his 800 OPS? We find out. Is Riley Green going to be able to stay healthy and hit? We find out. Spencer Torkelson had a nice resurgence in the second half of the season. Will he continue to be good? We find out. What about Javier Baez? At the recording of this podcast, he has yet to get a hit in the spring. We find out. Parker Meadows in center field. He can play center, but can he hit? We find out. My point is, in a winnable division, you could have went out and got a guy for affordable rates to help you at third base and plug in the middle of your order. You could have. Still has one of the best hard hit rates in baseball. Walks more than people will tell you. Strikes out way too much. I'll definitely admit that. Last season wasn't good, but still had the 98th percentile for hard hit percentage, barrel percentage, and average exit velo. Solid walk rate, graded in the 78th percentile. Like, this is a guy that could have helped. And Scott Harris said, nah, I'm good. Not going to even bother. And his old team got him. Is what it is. So I threw it out there on Twitter. You would not believe the response I got. What the fuck's going on with Tiger fans? Like, honestly, you haven't made the playoffs in 10 years. Tiger fans are acting like Matt Chapman is not good enough to play in Detroit. Universal. The response I got from Detroit Tiger fans and people I actually think do a good job on the radio and TV and writing, they all say the same thing. Matt Chapman ain't good enough. Not good enough to play in Detroit. Why would you pay that money for that guy? That's Javi Baez all over again. I don't understand how Tiger fans are thinking on this one. All of a sudden, they become elitist. They think they are, I don't know, fans of the Rays or the Dodgers or the Phillies, teams that actually win, when actuality, they're fans of a team for the last 10 years has had the most losses in Major League Baseball. You don't want a guy that can actually help you win. I don't understand it. It's a head scratcher, and now it feels a little different scratching my head because I no longer have hair. I don't understand Tiger fans. Like, what has happened to these people? Is it just a universal belief in Scott Harris? Why? Scott Harris has done nothing so far. Not to say that he can't, not to say he's not going to be successful, but why? Scott Harris wants to get a bunch of his young hitters at bats. I want to get proven hitters at bats so maybe you can win the damn division. And it's funny because everybody, maybe not everybody, but most people like to come at people like me. It's not enough to be an elitist and say, oh, no, we don't want Matt Chapman. No, 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 thank you. It's even worse because people come at you saying you know nothing about baseball. You want a guy that until this year hit 27 bombs every year, has been an all-star, is an elite defender, can kill the baseball, and signed a team-friendly, affordable contract. And what I get from people is you don't know shit about baseball. You've never watched baseball. Have you watched Matt Chapman last year? Well, first of all, he screwed up and mangled his middle finger. So that could have aided to his disaster, if you will, of a second half. The second thing is not everybody's perfect. There's no perfect person out there. This guy could help you. You can't dispute it, but Tiger fans want to dispute it for some odd, ridiculous reason. And they're also worried about money too. $10 million after getting rid of Miguel Cabrera, less than last year. You're not close to even the average payroll in Major League Baseball. Why are you fighting this? You don't want the guy fined. You don't like the guy fined. You don't like his game. That's fine too. But it's this weird overall belief that Scott Harris is doing everything right. And it's this weird belief that we don't need a guy that can actually help us. I don't understand it. It makes zero sense to me. But there people were yesterday, the day before. Oh, you're so stupid wanting to sign him to that contract. If he stunk, you would say he's another Javier Baez. Well, Baez got a 6-year deal. Chapman got a 3-year deal. Baez could opt out after 2 years. He stunk, so of course he stuck around, and now you owe him $100 million over the next 4 years. Matt Chapman got a 3-year deal. Scott Boras is his agent. He wanted a hell of a lot more than he got. You know for a fact that if he has a good year, he will opt out, which is money well spent for the Tigers, because if he has a good year, there's a chance you win the division. And next year, you can bring up your prospect, Jace Young, that everybody wants to talk about, who, by the way, has never played a game in Major League Baseball and is not ready to come up just yet. And on the off chance that Matt Chapman does not rebound, because this will be a contract year for Chapman because he can opt out and get more money if he plays well. But on the off chance he doesn't rebound, you're stuck for 2 more years when he can play better next year. And the contract goes down by $2 million a year and has another chance to kill it and then opt out and go elsewhere. Scott Boras is going to want him to opt out to get a better contract. He's not even 31 years old. If he kills it this season and he leaves, he'll get a hell of a lot more money, maybe a multi-year deal, maybe the deal that he wants. I don't get Tiger fans. Like, not at all. This was the perfect deal for the Tigers. And it's fine that Detroit as an organization decided not to do it, but it's a completely different thing that Tiger fans act like they're too good for this guy or that he's not good enough for them. It's very bizarre. Can somebody explain it to me, please? Comment section, please. But I'm not done. I'm not done. I got one more little tidbit for you because I was looking on Sunday morning. Evan Petzold writes for the Free Press, does a really nice job. He wrote this piece about J.D. Martinez. Says J.D. Martinez reunion with the Tigers would help offense, but it's not happening. Apparently, the Tigers have no interest in J.D., who hit 33 bombs last year. J.D. Martinez turned down a 1-year, $14 to $15 million deal with the Giants. He came back and said, what, at 20, I believe the reporting goes, and the Giants said, no, thank you, and instead they went out and got somebody else. J.D. Martinez last year, 271, 33 dongs, 34 walks, 149 strikeouts across 113 games. That's an 893 OPS. You don't got anybody on your team with an 893 OPS. Furthermore, he'd be the perfect guy to DH every game, to actually help you in the clubhouse, to help young hitters learn the game of baseball. Remember, JD used to carry around the notebook? He'd be the perfect guy to come back and help you. And by the way, if he took a contract from the Tigers, that would kind of tell you that he believes Detroit can win. But instead, the Tigers are hoping Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, Cole Keith, and Spencer Torkelson will carry the offense. And instead, they traded for Mark Canha. He's going to make $11.5 million this year. Martinez could help you at the DH spot, but they don't want the help because the Tigers want to mix and match at the designated hitter spot. After Miguel Cabrera retired and his $32 million finally came off the books, the Tigers said the following. This is from AJ Hinch. We all know Miguel was retiring. We all know the DH spot was going to finally be relieved of a single player, and now maybe we can utilize that a little differently. That was his quote. They want to mix. They want to match. They want to put guys at DH. They want to get Torque off his feet. They want, on a game-by-game basis, have somebody else DHing, which I think is dumb personally. Like, whatever happened to the days, and I know all the baseball nerds might come at me, but like having an everyday third baseman that can hit for power and play stellar defense, that helps you win ball games. Having a daily DH that can rake in the middle of your order, be a feared hitter for the opposition, that helps you win ball games. But you talk to Tiger fans like, no, we're going to do it differently. We're going to do it differently. Granted, the Tigers have sucked for a decade. And this division is wide open. And more than likely, you ain't going to win it. So I'm curious. JD's not coming here. Disappointing. Matt Chapman went elsewhere. Disappointing. But the most disappointing thing is Tiger fans and how they're reacting to the lack of moves made by President of Baseball Operations, Scott Harris. I don't understand why you're coming after a guy like me when you should be demanding this team spend more money and give you a winner because it's been way too fucking long. Here's the other thing, by the way. Everybody says the same thing. Well, what about Chris Ilitch? Chris Ilitch might not be willing to spend the money. And maybe you're right. I have no idea. I have no insight on that. What I can tell you is Chris Ilitch gave Al Avila $500 million to spend on free agents and various trades. So I do believe if he believes guys can help you, he would actually pay for it. I think this is Scott Harris thing. I think Scott wants to win his way. I think Scott cares more about developing his current players than trying to win a division. He pretty much said so. And that to me is a little disheartening. In fact, I'm lying. It's really disheartening. So let me know what you think. What's going on with Tiger fans? I don't understand it. Why are they acting like they're, I don't know, name a great organization. Astros fans, Rangers fans, Dodgers fans. Why are they becoming and acting so elite? It's ridiculous. Do you think a guy like Chapman or even JD Martinez could have helped you? And more importantly than anything that we've talked about, what do you think of the new shave? Could be a spot right here I got to get to, right there. Yep. I don't hate it. I think I look pretty good, to tell you the truth. You people might have been onto something. You said from day one of the podcast, get the fuck in the barber and shave that head. I did what you asked. All right, that's going to do it for the Daily Ticket. We'll get comments tomorrow. How about that? We've already gone too long. I spent way too long yapping about my lack of hair now. I'll tell you this, though. It's rather cold outside. I now need to wear a hat. Little toque. Need to protect this area. Can't stop looking at it. What do you think? Hold on. Let me go turn on the lights. Maybe we'll look a little different. There we go. Oh, yeah. Look at that light shine off it. Oh, my. I think I need to shut the lights back off. All right, we'll catch you tomorrow on a Tuesday on the Daily Ticket. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.